as a Muslim, listen, we don't use our brain. If Allah contradicts our brain, we take our brain out of the sight. We take our brain out of the world. You understand?
Hi, amazing viewers. Welcome back to Religious Insights. On today's episode of this debate with Godlogic, Godlogic and David Wood engages a Muslim. As a Muslim guy, answer this tough question: can Allah have a son? Let's find out the truth from this video.
What's up, man? You a Muslim?
Yep.
What's up, man? So I mean, the last guy, I don't think that he was able to really be honest about, the argument that I was asking him about. Maybe I can ask you.
Okay, you can ask me.
All right, for sure, man. Can Allah have a son if he wanted to, bro?
Yeah, he could if he wanted to. Yes.
He could if he wanted to. All right. Would he need help to do it, or could he do it by himself?
If he needed help, he wouldn't be all powerful.
Boom. You're absolutely right. So the Quran says that Allah needs help to have a son. It says, how can he have a son when he has no mate?
Could you provide give me the source of that, a verse, anything?
Yeah, chapter 6, verse 101. This is chapter 6, verse 101. It says, he is the originator of the heavens and the earth. How could he have a son when he does not have a companion? And he created all things. And he is of all things knowing.
Okay. Let me ask you a question. So basically, how do you know? How do you think people create sons? A person creates sons.
They have sexual intercourse.
They have intercourse, right?
Do you have a source for that?
They get pregnant, right? So when this was stated, he's not talking in the oh, I can't have a son. He's saying another reason. He's basically give you another reason. How could I have a son? He's not. This was a rhetoric. It's a rhetorical question. He wasn't.
Well, it's not a rhetorical question, but it's a question that he's using to refute the claim that he has a son.
Another refute, right? That would also work in their kind of logic, but
absolutely, he's using human logic to defeat them because this human logic also applies to himself.
You can look at this two ways,
Mm-hmm.
You can look at this two ways.
Okay.
You have to understand why the Quran put a verse that goes against against God.
I think that because the Quran's inconsistent and the God of the Quran is not really God at all, bro.
Can you show me another place where God is inconsistent?
Wait, why do I have to go somewhere else? This is good enough for me.
I mean, you said no. You could look at it a different way if you wanted to, because you said, "How can God have children?"
No, it's how can he have a son if he doesn't have a mate? So it's telling you that in order for him to have a son, he needs a mate, which means that he's not all powerful. Like you said, if he needed help to do it, then he wouldn't be all powerful and therefore not God. So that's what I'm showing you. Like me and you, we agree. If God needs help to do something, if he can't do something within his own power, then he's not all powerful and therefore not God. Well, I'm showing you, like Allah, he cannot have a son by his own power. He would need help.
It wasn't in the. You could look at it. I guess you could look at it that way if you're opposing it.
You get what I'm saying, huh? It makes sense what I'm saying.
I mean, I understand it, yeah.
Mm.
But what I'm trying to tell you is, anybody can look at it. Anybody can look anything negative way. There's two ways to look at anything. You can look at it the positive. Not positive, but the way you're looking at it is opposing it.
So let me ask you this, my brother.
So you're just choosing to look at it positively, then, I guess.
I'm trying to see in what way can you look at this, April? In what way can you look at this that doesn't, expose Allah as not being all powerful? Like, what way escapes that conclusion?
The commentary on it.
The commentary actually helps our case.
Tafsir. Could you?
But you just said that you can look at it positively and negatively. So the commentators that you are appealing to are just choosing to look past all the negative and not approach it negatively, but to make excuses for it and approach it positively instead. Right?
I think.
Just if the verse has to be clear, if the verse is not clear to understand, it's just the way you're perceiving it, the way you're looking at it, you're looking at a perspective. Oh, let me find verses that oppose. Trying to find, you know what I mean? You understand what I'm trying to say?
No.
Well, I don't know.
Look, just in this way. Look, this is what I'm asking. In what way can we look at this that doesn't lead us to the conclusion that Allah is not all powerful?
Okay, let me explain to you the way that Muslims look at it, Okay, Muslims look at this verse as he was talking to the people. Another form. Oh, how can I have a son while I don't have a mate? He never said I need a mate. It's just a form. What they know, their logic. How can I have a son? Just another reason.
If I were to say, how can I drive the car if I don't have the keys? According to my statement, what do I need in order to drive the car?
But you could. Okay, let me give you another statement.
Come on, bro. Come on.
You can't do that.
If I say, how can I drive the car when I don't have the keys? According to that statement, what do I need in order to drive the car?
What'd you say? What verse is it?
This is very bad.
Is that where we're at? We just got to deal with it as, just believing on what Allah says and maybe with as Muslims. Come on, man. If I say, how can I drive the car when I don't have the keys? What do I need in order to drive the car based on that statement?
But this is not the same statement, though. You have to understand that. Are you talking?
Yes. One is about a key and one is about a son. That's correct. Yeah, that's correct.
Yes. Let me make it the same statement. If I said, how can I have a son when I don't have a wife? What do I need in order to have a son?
But I have a question. Did you ever claim to be all powerful, though?
Yeah, I'm claiming to be all powerful. Yes.
Listen, I'm all powerful. I'm omnipotent. And I can't have a son if I don't have a mate. Therefore,
no.
You guys, I don't know. You guys looking at it from a negative way, negative standpoint, try to oppose it.
Do you think it's negative to logically think about something? To look at it if we look at it in a logical way, is that?
I thought this was a good vibes only live stream. Yeah.
I mean, it's not. Guys not looking at it in a logical way.
We're not looking at it as if we're trying to justify it. We're looking at it more objectively, saying, "Hey, this is just what it says." We don't have to try to rationalize it. If you just do a proper exegesis of the text, this is the logical meaning of what it's saying. We don't have to come up with excuses. We can just read it as it is.
Good vibes only.
Hey, April, listen. I think that you probably should just think on this a little bit and maybe look into it and come back. You're welcome to come back on another stream. Definitely, if you have some questions about Christianity or something. And we'll gladly be able to talk to you about that. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and let the next guest come up. All right. He didn't even give me a chance to kick him. He just dropped.
Good vibes only.
Wow.
Don't be so negative.
In his defense, the way you've set it up, Avery, you're pointing out a problem for them that needs to be solved, and you could even expand upon that, because in the passage where, as you know, in the passage where the Spirit tells Mary that she's going to have a son, she says, "How can I have a son when no man has touched me?" So the response there is, it's easy for Allah. It's easy for Allah to produce a child from one parent. You're bringing up 6101, wonderful originator of the heavens and the earth. How could he have a son when he has no consort or mate or something like that? Which seems to be contradictory. And so, in his defense, the Muslim who is speaking, if you wanted to somehow reconcile this, because guys, if you didn't understand the problem, if Allah is all powerful, and that's why Avery asks when he's starting the discussion, if can Allah have a son if he wanted one? If you say yes, then okay, yeah, you'd have to say he's all powerful and therefore he could have a son if he wants. Follow, because every Muslim's going to have to say yes. But if they say yes, okay, does he need help then? If Allah did want to have a son, would he need help doing it? No, there's no way he would need help. He's all powerful. Okay, why does he say in 6101 that he can't do it without help from a consort? That's the problem. If your Muslim friend wanted to actually respond, I think he was heading in the only possible direction where you could get out of it somehow by explaining it in terms of some sort of literary device or something like that. Some sort of rhetorical form or something like that. I don't know. We haven't clarified what that would be or shown that it would work. Right. But you would have to go with something like that to get out of this little problem. So
you need
he was trying to head in the right direction. I don't think there is a solution in that direction, but that would be the only direction you could
I can actually help Muslims here in this case, because there is also a Quran verse which directly deals with this very same question and contradicts the statement made in 6101. It is in chapter 39, verse 4. Verse 4, which says, if Allah had intended to take a son, he could have just chosen from what he creates, whatever he willed. Exalted is he is Allah, the one, the prevailing. So, this comes chronologically after chapter. This comes chronologically after 6101. So later, it seems that at first in 6101, Allah says, how can Allah have a son when he doesn't have a mate? And then a little while later, Allah says, if Allah wanted to have a son, he would just take one from those he created. And so it seems that Allah does indeed say that he could just make it happen, but he chose not to. However, then why did he say prior to that
right? You could have. If there's something in the cultural context that appeals to this is idiomatic, but I don't see it as of now. That needs to be provided, and it needs to be provided. You just can't ad hoc assert, oh, this was some idiom. Like, you actually have to show evidence for that being the case.
Well, it seems it contradicts itself, and it seems that the author of the Quran just learned how to respond to the question after a while, and just said, I could just do it if I wanted to, man.
This guy here, I liked him because he was able to see the logical conclusion. He saw the problem, but chose to, he wanted not to go the logical way. And as a Muslim, we have to look at it another way, and not in a way that opposes Allah. And in fact, it reminds me of this bit right here. Tell me if this sounds familiar to guys.
As a Muslim, listen, we don't use our brain. If Allah contradicts our brain, we take our brain out of the sight. We take our brain out of the way. You understand? As a Muslim, listen, we don't use our brain. If Allah contradicts our brain, we take our brain out of the sight.
See, as a Muslim, we don't. Now that was a Muslim talking.
The brain is from Satan.
The brain is from Satan.
It is from Satan.
We take it out of the sight if it contradicts Allah. We take it out of the sight.
That's very racist. Whoever said that, very racist.
Welcome back, guys. That was an amazing one. It was really an interesting discussion. If God is all powerful and if in any case he needs help, then he is not all powerful. Allah of the Quran says he can't have a son without a mate. Therefore, Allah of the Quran is not all powerful according to this their belief and their logic. From a Christian standpoint, the Quran's inconsistency in describing Allah's omnipotence exposes a theological flaw. Christianity's explanation of God's ability to have a son is rooted in his divine nature, not human biology or logic. The Bible describes God as omnipotent, transcendent, capable of all things, consistent with his nature. The ideal of God having a son is not a limitation but a revelation of his divine essence. By suggesting that Allah cannot have a son without a mate, the Quran inadvertently attributes human-like limitations to Allah, which conflict with Islamic claims of his absolute omnipotence. If Allah is self-sufficient and all-powerful, he should not need any external factors like a mate to accomplish anything that he needs to do. Jesus Christ's sonship is not based on physical but on his eternal and divine relationship with the Father. The Quran's contradictory statement about Allah's ability to have a son exposed a theological inconsistency that weakens the Islamic concepts about the omnipotence and all-powerfulness of God. Guys, I believe you were able to learn something from this video. Let us know your views in the comment section. Don't forget to share this video with your friends, your family. Subscribe to this channel if you have not done so. Thank you for watching. We'd love to see you in our next video.